What's up, y'all? We back. We back. Doing a weekly race. For those that are new, I'm Steven, aka Bike Bonk Biff. And this course is gonna be a lot of fun. Basically, anytime you see the word after party in the course, you know that it's going to end in a brutal climb, and that's exactly what we have here today. Which, always a fun way to finish a race, right? Just like an insane 5-minute effort that just totally destroys you. Who doesn't love that? Got a pretty good turnout for Tuesday morning. At 30 people. We're racing in the B category because why not? I think my racing score is like 563. So this could very well be the last time that we race in this lower category, and then we'll jump back up to A. But this route, you'll find, is just like a bunch of loops over and over again with a super punchy climb, which I'm sure when you talk punchy climbs, people just are going to go bonkers. So we're just going to want to stick with the group as much as possible, because quite frankly, with the incline-decline, that sort of thing, can't really win a race there, but you can definitely get dropped, get out of the draft, and lose. So, tossed on the NYC hat on the avatar because you got to represent the stage.
Right.
You're on an old Innsbruck kit to match. Let's go. So this will be like the second race that we've done since coming back from our cycling trip. The first one, the Paris-Roubaix, wasn't technically a race, it was a group ride, but we treated it like one. Looks like the two power-ups are Arrow and Feather. So profile top right, you can see it just repeats that 7 times. Yuck. I'm sure these first few laps will be pretty fast. Things will probably calm down a wee bit. Because at this point, even if a rider came into this not knowing what to expect, you just look at that profile, and you know that's where the race is going to be won. And you need to do everything you can to conserve energy until then. So that means if there's an attack, probably won't bring it back. At least I won't. And on these climbs, don't want to get too excited. So immediately go into a downhill, and the group will typically come together there. I always find it hard to get it settled into rides like this too. You know, everyone's a little nervous. Every once in a while, you'll get that rider that attacks. People will overreact. You can see we're now in zone 3. We'll slow downhill. So this is where it's going to be important to get that recovery in. Because there's no way to avoid that hard effort right before the sprint. Can't control how other people are going to ride at that section. But you can't control how you pace through these flats in the draft. And we'll know if we did that well at the end of the race if we have one of the lower 20-minute efforts. It's usually a good sign. Yeah, I know everybody always likes to flex that 20-minute effort. And maybe I'm contrarian in saying this, but if you have that 20-minute effort that's way higher than anybody else, unless you were in a breakaway, you probably weren't riding efficiently. So with the feather, we'll pop that right before the sprint on that little kicker. And you get the arrow, we'll hold that just over the hill before the sprint. Because it's always nice to have, especially if somebody makes a move. You start feeling like you're going to get dropped. Pretty high numbers. Nobody over really 5. One guy off the front. Two off the front. I'm sure we'll all come back together. So I mean, that's how we're going to play it every time. Another downhill here. We'll get that snowball effect in the main group. But it seems to me those will probably be the few riders that are strongest in this group. Quite frankly, I don't think anybody's been dropped in this main group. So yeah, that was nice and steady. I think if on future laps we get to this point and there's still a gap, that's when you need to worry. Maybe we lost 3 or 4 riders. Still not very many. This is an important recovery spot. As we get closer to the end, I'm going to have to make sure to push up. Again, nothing crazy. Because this group's going to get strung out every single time. This is an important recovery lap. We are much more together than last time. Four of those efforts left. Second incline. I'm going to use my feather a bit earlier this time, because I do not want to carry the feather over to the downhill. So in the downhill sections, you want to be heavier. A little push. Someone pushing. That's okay. We'll all come together right on this incline. That's why I don't mind sitting back on rollers like this. It's on the really short ones, you're going to get pushed to the front anyway. That's for the really short ones. Something like this distance that we're about to climb, I don't think it helps nearly as much. So let's see how we time that. We started right at the 2%. I think that's just about perfect. So yeah, you get that feather. Use it right when you're about to get to that 2%. Three more of those. So when we do the climb, I think we turn off just up ahead. I think people will attack on the final incline. Because they'll want a head start on the climb. So if that happens, I'm not gonna go crazy. Because if we're talking about efficient power output, I'd rather use that power on the climb itself. Save my legs, stay with the draft. Have that much more energy then for when I think of heading close. I could be wrong. I mean, this has not been easy. My heart rate has always kind of been above 160, which is certainly uncomfortable. My max is like 192. So we're kind of tiptoeing there every time we hit this incline. I'm gonna try and stay seated for this one. I mean, that's a hard effort every single time. One guy off the front. They can hold them off. He can hold us off for 2 laps and a climb. They deserve the W. Definitely would deserve the win. Nobody really pushing. So I think everyone's pretty tired. It warms my heart because I am tired too. Yeah, so I think they'll definitely stay away. I mean, we've got 15 minutes left. If that guy holds over 4 watts for 15 minutes, that's pretty strong, especially for this group. I think in an A category, that's pretty common. I mean, I know it is. But in a B category, unless it's like a pure climbing stage, you don't see that very often. Alright, Feather. I'm almost tempted to hold on to it. Because if we don't get a feather at the end, that's bad. So I'm going to hold it. Well, no. We'll have 2 shots. With 2 more shots, I think we'll be alright. We'd be pretty unlucky if we didn't get another feather. Two people attacking to try and catch the flyer. Looks like they're even. Okay. He got an arrow. That's not what I wanted. I say just leave him out there. Let him get tired. Especially with how fast I'm sure the pace will be soon. You'll probably take a few seconds on this climb. Alright. Somebody far ahead? I didn't think there was anyone that far ahead. I could be wrong, though. I thought it was just the one guy we caught. Well, I'm afraid to say I don't really know how to pace this 5-minute effort. You know, I think what we'll do is just try and keep with the bulk of the riders. Unless we're feeling really good, we can follow some attacks. But it's really hard to know how your body's going to react to those 5-minute efforts. At least in my opinion, I think it is. Alright, I want to stay awake here. Surprisingly tame. Pray for a feather. Fingers crossed. Guess I should have held the one 3 turns ago. That's a bummer. Okay. Podium's gonna be really tough. I want top. Man's been stronger. Always gonna shoot for a podium. I think realistically, top 7. Let's see though. I'm gonna drop a chain if I do that again. That was too much effort. I'm about to pop. Come on, Steve. This is it. Almost. Oh. Almost caught him. I hate 5-minute efforts. Ugh. I mean, we paced that really well. Told you. First, you guys, we were able to catch, I think that was a rider that went off on their own. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. That's how you push yourself, baby. Oh, heart rate easily reached its max. I was watching it on those last two efforts. I'm sitting at like 190, so my max is like 192. So you know the tank is almost empty. And you know that the effort is gonna just be brutally hard. Brutally hard. Fourth again. Last race we got fourth, so we have been a very good loser lately. All right. Can almost get back to normal. That was all in the big rig too. For a big boy climber. Shoot. Well, if you're gonna be doing this, just keep in mind, use those power-ups. I think if we would have had that feather for that final 15%, easily would have gotten third. Easily. We would have gained plenty of time, but I don't know. I thought the odds were in our favor, but sometimes you just get unlucky. Oh. Okay. Let's check the numbers, and then we can all go home. How'd I break, eh? Yeah. I don't remember how to break. Just give me a second. Oh. Woo! I think we probably got a 5-minute PB. You know, we've been tickling that number basically the past few rides between the Queen stage, the cobbles, and now this. Let's see quick. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeesh. We were busting. Let's go. 269. Is there anything better? Well, as always, my friends, thank you for coming along with me on another torturous adventure. I need to start doing like easy rides. If you're new here, Thanks for tuning in. If you've been around, welcome back. If you like this sort of thing, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment, any sort of tips on the racing strategies. Always appreciated, just about everything. Love everybody's feedback. Until the next time, as always, stay strong, y'all. And I will see you soon. Cheers.